Hi, I'm Tim Perry, Senior Content Manager with Multi-Channel Merchant. I'm here with Jim Davidson,
Hello.
the Manager of Marketing Research at Bronto, and we're talking a little about email marketing and other e-commerce trends that have been seen here at IRCE 2013. So Jim, you've been on the sales floor, you've been in with meetings with clients, and you've just done a bunch of research before you got here. What are your clients' top concerns when it comes to email marketing as we get ready for the holiday 2013 season?
So I think this year it's going to be really interesting to see how brands are going to market to consumers who are looking at their promotions on mobile devices, on tablets, laptops. They're going in store, they're at work, they're at home, and they're really dealing with a lot of information in their cluttered holiday inboxes. So how are you going to get your message to be read, understood, and for them to actually start that purchase process? So it's going to take a lot to stand out this year.
Triggered email messaging always seems to be a hot topic at this show and other shows too. One of them seems to stand out as order confirmations, abandoned cart messages, and shipment notifications. But are there others that merchants are missing the mark on when they think about trigger marketing, and why are they missing the mark?
So what's important with those three that you mentioned, order, ship confirmations, and abandoned cart, is they are part of the life cycle of that customer. You know, they're either abandoning, but they had a high level of interest, or they purchased a product and they're waiting to receive it, or they're waiting for it to actually arrive on their door. So where I feel like a lot of brands are missing the mark is expanding that life cycle beyond just that really concentrated period around the purchase, further back. So looking at your welcome series, looking at your different acquisition sources and building more robust welcome series to bring them on board. Did they come in through one of your social networks? Did they come in from your store? Those are very different types of customers or prospects for you to market to. So setting up those trigger messages from that point of acquisition all the way through the purchase funnel, it's going to save you a lot of time and resources as far as remarketing opportunities, speaking to them at key points in their purchase consideration. So I think that's one of the marks that's missed. But also start with those messages that you have. Those are some great revenue generators. If you haven't looked at them in a while, are there ways to optimize them? How do they render on mobile devices? Do you have any new technology to add as far as recommending additional products or backing up your abandoned cart messages to product abandonment? So look at your product pages and see what your abandonment rates are there. So always lots of opportunity.
Like a lot of people at this show, I've been checking my emails on a mobile device when I haven't had my iPad in reach. Do you think there's a lot of attendees who are looking at what they're seeing on the iPhone or on any of the other mobile device, any of the smartphones, and saying, "Oh man, I wish it's read better on a mobile device"?
Yeah, hopefully they didn't come to the show and just discover how their emails render on a mobile device. Hopefully they've seen it before. So they probably learned a lot at the show about how to make them better. So they're looking at them with a more critical eye of, oh yes, there's lots of opportunity for me to do like different creative options or coding options for those messages. So I think it's really important to make sure, especially going into the holidays, that your message is not only visibly rendered properly in a mobile inbox, but that it looks good on different types of devices. And look at your Android subscribers, your iPhone subscribers, your tablet subscribers. There are a lot of different ways these messages are viewed. So don't assume that everything's going to look the same way on one device. The other, outside the visual component, is to make sure they function well. So looking at your calls to action, looking at how people are interacting with that message. Is it more of an exploratory purchase consideration? Are they actually ready to buy?
Let me see your phone for a second. You got the Galaxy.
Yeah, I do. I can't believe you're bringing that up. I'm going to get a lot of.
That's right. I was saying it's a little bigger screen than the iPhone and everything too. Is that something that's are merchants starting to think about? Okay, the phones also are the screens are getting a little bigger, so we have a little more to play with mobile emails, or is there still one rule of thumb what rule of thumb works right now should be stuck with the bigger devices?
So I think there's a big conversation around optimization versus customization. Are we going to create one experience for one device line or operating system, or are we going to find a way to really optimize what we have and make sure that it's functional, it's available, that it continues that brand experience that our customers expect across all devices? So your brand may have a really high percentage of interaction or engagement or purchase activity in one area, and that's perhaps where you should throw your dollars and resources. But you can also do some testing and see if we really make these messages mobile friendly, strong calls to action. We have a mobile optimized website, so people are going to not go to the full desktop site on their device. If you can continue that experience through, and that may be more just a better use of your resources.
I've been talking to a few people here about batch and blast mentality versus targeted emails. Is batch and blast dead, or is this something that really should just be based on the season, like the holidays? That should be the big thing versus targeting versus the rest of the year. What's your take, and what are you seeing? What are you seeing your clients doing?
I mean, batch and blast is always going to be around. It's not going to die. And I mean, part of that is just limitations of small teams and having to do advanced segmentation every time, or somebody who's just getting started out and their list isn't big enough to really segment out everyone. So it's always going to be around. What I think has changed is that there are a lot of automated ways for you to build those segments. So it's not as labor intensive as it used to be several years ago. So batch and blast will be there. It can be more effective to segment your message out and really look at who your customer groups, either by engagement levels, purchase activity, or demographic profiles, if you have those resources. If you haven't explored it in a while, talk to your partners, your providers, your email service provider. There may be easier, more streamlined ways for you to take that batch and blast. It's the only thing that we have time to do, and to really take your program that next level.
I don't have this question on my list of what I'm going to ask you, but you're such a wealth of knowledge there and everything, all things email, that I should ask.
Sure.
Is there anything legislative on the horizon that any email marketer just really needs to keep an eye on right now?
There's been a lot of conversation about the sales tax for online purchases, so that's definitely something that's been a lot of buzz. When it comes to legislation, a lot of times going into the holidays, you really need to revisit all of your deliverability ratings. So, look at any type of acquisition sources that you have where data quality may be a little bit low, like in your store where your cashiers may be keying in information or writing it, because those really could affect your holiday sends. So look at those types of opt-in spam-related legislations and revisit them. Make sure that you're adhering to everything and you have all the best practices implemented before you go into your peak season.
Excellent. Well, Jim, thank you very much for your time today. I know it's been a busy show for you, so I appreciate that you took time from IRCE 13 to talk with us.
Always. Thank you, Tim.